Have you ever seen a character that's so bizarre that you can't stop thinking about them? Yeah, I'm talking about ENA. Or ENAs, I'm not really sure. If you played ENA Dream Barbecue, you're probably still trying to figure out who ENA really is. She's unique, unpredictable, and defies the typical expectations of what a main character should be. For those of us who've been following the ENA series since the beginning, ENA's role in this surreal dreamlike world has left us with more questions than answers. Who is ENA? What is she? Is she human? Or perhaps an entire species altogether? Who knows? Well, before we even begin to answer that, we need to understand what I believe to be the three main versions of ENA, because each of them offer a different perspective on her identity as a whole. So let's start with the original blue and yellow ENA, the version most of us are familiar with from Joel G's early YouTube videos, like Auction Day and Temptation Stairway.
It looks like I'm the best and you're the worst.
In this form, ENA is visually split into two sides. Her yellow side radiates her excitable and impulsive personality, while the blue side gives off her gloomy and withdrawn personality. Throughout the animated series, ENA flips between these two moods, sometimes even mid-sentence, as if she's buffering between emotional states. This constant switching between her yellow and blue sides doesn't just define her aesthetic, it also highlights the instability of her core identity. It's like she's constantly in flux, embodying the surreal nature of the dream world she inhabits. Then there's the version we met in ENA Dream Barbecue. Here, ENA sheds her old colour scheme for a bold red and white look. In this iteration, ENA's design is more uniform and smooth, with a glossy finish rather than being pixelated or glitchy. The red side represents her more joyful, charismatic salesperson side, where she's enthusiastic and perhaps a little bit too eager at times. On the other hand, the white side has a more serious and meany personality, acting as a counterbalance.
You're not fooling anyone, fraud!
This division is subtle, yet it signals that ENA's character here is far more calculated and controlled than the chaotic nature of her original yellow and blue form. Finally, we catch sight of what some might call human ENA. In this form, the vibrant colours and glitches disappear, leaving behind a more traditional human-like appearance. Her features here are softer, and her movements are more natural. She seems closer to a regular person, even though the environment and her surroundings remain surreal. This human guise raises more questions. Is this ENA's true form, a memory of who she was before she came here, or maybe the ENA we see is just a mask she wears to navigate the dreamlike chaos, potentially hiding her real self from those around her. So what exactly do these versions of ENA mean? They're not just random design choices, instead they seem to be different parts of ENA's overall identity. It's like they're not just variations of the same person, but entirely different individuals. And that's where things get interesting. What if ENA isn't just one singular character? What if ENA is actually a group of people, or for lack of a better term, a special kind of species? Okay, I know that sounds a little out there, but there's a few moments scattered across the series that could suggest ENA isn't exactly one person. And once you start to notice them, it gets harder to ignore. In fact, the first clue supporting this theory comes from the Temptation Stairway video, released back in 2021. In this animation, ENA and Mooney make a bet to see who can reach the top of the Great Ruins first. But after traversing through multiple rooms, ENA eventually falls into the Hourglass Meadow, where she meets the shepherd, who refers to her as another ENA troublemaker. Now, why would the shepherd call ENA another if she is the only one? That simple line alone introduces the possibility that there are others out there just like her. This idea is reinforced when we see multiple versions of ENA falling through the void later on in the video. Another clue comes from the official Joel G website, which lets users create their own custom versions of ENA. If ENA were meant to be a single unified character, why design a platform to make so many different versions of her? This feature suggests something deeper, that ENA isn't just one individual, but rather a concept. One that could take many shapes depending on the personality, context, or even user interpretation. It also leans into the idea that ENA could be a species, or at least a category of beings, rather than having one fixed identity. This theory becomes even more compelling with the release of ENA Dream Barbecue. When comparing the classic yellow and blue ENA to the newer red and white ENA, we see more than just a visual redesign. Their personalities and motivations are clearly different. The ENA from the original YouTube animations is chaotic and emotionally volatile. She drifts through the surreal dream world with no clear purpose, often reacting impulsively to whatever absurdity comes her way. Her dynamic with Mooney and her spontaneous actions, like breaking into a Turon dance mid-race, highlight her carefree, almost childlike curiosity. But the red and white ENA from Dream Barbecue feels like an entirely different person. She's focused and determined, with a specific mission: to find her boss. That goal defines her journey and even begins to impact her behaviour. In fact, if she strays too far from that purpose, like when she approaches the Purge event, her form begins to deteriorate. It's almost as if her sense of identity is tied directly to fulfilling that objective. And here's something crucial. If these two ENAs were the same individual, wouldn't the ENA we know from Dream BBQ remember her past adventures or at least acknowledge Mooney, who was once her closest companion? But she doesn't. Mooney isn't mentioned at all in Dream BBQ, which raises the possibility that these aren't different versions of the same character, but rather completely different ENAs with their own memories, purposes, and identities. This idea is further supported during one of the key quests in ENA Dream BBQ. After reuniting the witches and completing their quest, ENA is given an item that the witches claim they received from, you guessed it, ENA. This moment is one of the clearest hints that there are other versions of ENA existing in the world of Dream BBQ. If ENA were a completely unique individual, this interaction would likely be met with surprise or confusion, as we, the player ENA, certainly didn't give it to her. But instead, the player character ENA doesn't react at all. This could imply that she either already knows about the existence of other ENAs, or we, our playable ENA, is hiding something. Another thing to note is that if the existence of other ENAs is true, we might even encounter more versions of her in future chapters, each offering new insights into what ENA truly is. But these aren't the only clues that point to a deeper identity. Another major hint lies in how other characters treat her. Throughout Dream BBQ, ENA is repeatedly met with suspicion, fear, or outright hostility. For example, the receptionist accuses her of being a con artist, the genie denies her ascension, and the vending machine guy even refuses to sell her anything. These reactions seem too specific to be random. They suggest that the people in this world already know something about ENA, or at least recognize her kind. It's not that she's strange or unfamiliar, it's as if her very presence triggers unease or distrust, as though she's been associated with trouble before. This same idea is reinforced during her exchange with the vendor. After he refuses to sell anything to her, ENA pleads,
Guys, wait! I'm not doing what you say I'm doing! I'm not doing anything! I'm not doing anything at all!
This same line feels desperate, almost panicked, like she's trying to separate herself from something she's been blamed for. It also adds emotional depth to the theory. What if ENA is being held accountable for the actions of other ENAs? That would explain the cold stares and closed doors she encounters throughout her journey. The people of this town may also be projecting their fear or experiences with other ENAs onto her, resulting in a constant feeling of guilt by association. Another interesting theory I wanted to talk about revolves around the possibility that ENA could be a multi-bodied entity, essentially being a single consciousness spread between multiple bodies. Instead of existing as a group of individuals, ENA might be one mind that shifts between different vessels, inhabiting multiple forms at once. This could explain her constantly changing appearance and shifting moods. We catch a glimpse of this concept in Dream BBQ, particularly when ENA transitions into her human form after getting devoured. These transitions aren't just about changing appearance. They might also signal that ENA is actually moving between different versions of herself, as though she's hopping from one body to another. One of the most important clues supporting this theory comes from a key line spoken by the shaman in Dream BBQ, where he said, "One person can be in two places at once." This isn't just an offhand remark. It's a central piece of the narrative that seems to echo ENA's own nature. Could ENA herself be the embodiment of this principle? Perhaps she even has the ability to inhabit multiple bodies at once, each serving a different role or fulfilling a purpose in the dream world. This would explain why ENA appears to be constantly shifting, not just in her appearance, but in her behaviour and mood as well. If she's moving between different vessels, it could account for the sense that there are different versions of ENA, each with their own personality and objectives. Another pivotal moment that strengthens this theory occurs in the post-credit scene of Dream BBQ. After completing her quest, ENA's body suddenly becomes a mannequin, which then falls through an open door. At first, this seems like a strange, maybe insignificant detail, but it's actually very important. The mannequin is a direct callback to one that was already present earlier in the game, near Kondratida's area. This suggests that ENA is transferring her consciousness between different vessels, much like how she might use a backup body when her current form dies or encounters danger. Speaking of mannequins, there's another curious detail that might support this theory. Have you noticed that there's a quote-unquote dead mannequin near every pit you can fall into, which causes you to die in the game? While this could just be a visual cue for danger, it could also hint at something deeper. What if ENA uses these mannequins as backup bodies? When she falls into a pit or dies, perhaps her consciousness shifts to one of these mannequins, allowing her to continue her journey even after her physical form is destroyed or lost. So, is ENA a species, a multi-body entity, or is she something else entirely? Honestly, it's hard for me to say for sure, but I think it's definitely possible that ENA is way more than just a single character. Whether she's part of some species with endless variations, or a being who can jump from one body to another, It leaves so much room for what's to come in Chapter 2. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any theories of your own, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll catch you in the next video.